Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. Listen, we have quite a bit to discuss tonight, man. So many things going on with the New York Jets, all right? Made some signings, Randall Cobb, Al Woods. We're also going to be discussing Jets rookie mini camps, all right? We've also had some rookies as well already signed to get into the building, so that's always good to go, right? We're also going to be discussing Sulla at a press conference where he made some comments as well about the football team and discussed Aaron Rodgers. We're going to be covering that. We're also going to be talking about Quentin Williams and that deal because there's another guy that just signed today, and that number to keep Quentin Williams yearly continues to go up and up and up, all right? It just keeps going up, okay? So we're going to discuss it all. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you people think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. iTunes, okay? I'm on iTunes, man. Come on over to iTunes. Type in at The Long Beach Joe Show. At The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes. Type that on in. And go ahead and follow the show. You know, subscribe to the podcast there. Leave me some feedback. Let me know what you folks think. All right. I want to thank everybody that does leave me a 5-star rating. Drop some feedback. Let me know how they feel about what I'm doing over here on my show, man. I truly appreciate the feedback, and I value it. So please continue to drop that. Your boy's also on Twitter as well, at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. All right. That's the show's page. My personal page is at YoungJ000. Okay. Go ahead and follow your boy. All right. Give me a follow. I'll follow you right back. Let's go back and forth, and we can talk. A lot of people talk to me about the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Some people just talk to me about life. I've been told I give great advice. All right. So if you want some great advice or if you want to talk about the Jets, go ahead. Hit up the page. Follow me. Let's go back and forth. Okay. Now, your boy is also on YouTube. For those of you that do not know, okay, YouTube is a great platform where we live stream the show. Yeah, we live stream it, okay? We have a lot of fun. I also post content up there as well. Salutes to all the savages in the chat, all right? Venom G's, Mr. Magic, Badger Dan, I see you. You want to know why I call my chat the savages? Because they're savage. I mean, they go at it, man. They go after it, okay? All right? So listen here, man. We have a lot of fun over here, so come on over, right, to YouTube. All right? Type in Long Beach Joe Jets, Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. All right? Subscribe to the platform. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right? So we have a lot of fun over here. We do a lot of great things. Also, Blog Talk Radio as well, everybody knows. I'm on there, too. Blog Talk Radio, I think it's / Long Beach Joe Show. Please, follow me on Blog Talk Radio as well. However you listen to me, let me know. But especially, again, when you subscribe on YouTube, you get the full experience. You get to go back and forth with the savages. You see me live. A lot of people say I look good live. I'm just saying. I'm just a guy working with what I got. So please get involved with your boy any way that you can across all platforms and everything. And let's go back and forth and have a good conversation about, boy, oh, boy, do we have quite a bit to talk about, okay? The New York Jets signed some guys, okay? Or they're expected to sign one, and one they signed as well. Now, news broke that Randall Cobb is expected to sign with the Jets. Now, the deal hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but it's expected that Randall Cobb is going to get a 1-year deal with the New York Jets, okay? Phenomenal move, I think, for the Jets, me personally. We'll be discussing that tonight. Now, last season, Randall had 34 catches, 417 yards, and a TD with the Packers. All right, that was big. Okay, that was a solid season for him. Again, he's an older guy, up in age. He's no longer like the same Randall Cobb that he used to be back in the day. All right. At one point in his career, he was one of those guys that the defense was constantly keying in on, right? Constantly looking for. But now he's kind of an older guy, in a role player mode. And the thing that I like the most about this, signing that's expected to happen is that there's familiarity with Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett, okay? Now, keep in mind, with Aaron Rodgers, he played with him for 10 seasons, okay? Not only that, but they're good friends on the field and off the field as well, connection when they're on the field, right? Aaron Rodgers completed 534 passes to Cobb. That's the second most he's thrown to a player in his career, okay? Now, there's a lot of people that was already going to jump off the diving board straight into the pool of negativity, okay? And we already see it coming. Salutes to all the savages. I see y'all, all right? GVH, I see you, Mr. Badger, everybody. All right, Venom, Badger, Dakota, everybody in there. We already know the negativity is coming, all right? The first thing a lot of people started to talk about, the naysayers, immediately was, oh, my God, Randall Cobb's coming to the Jets. Oh, my goodness. He's about to eat up all the targets for the young wide receivers. He's going to destroy the New York Jets young wide receivers and their chemistry. Oh, he's gonna absolutely destroy the young receivers' growth and how things are happening. All this stuff started to come up constantly, right? We started to hear that. Here's the deal. Again, Randall Cobb is an older wide receiver, okay? This guy is no spring chicken, but he's a guy that can come in here and give a solid contribution. He's not going to eat up all the targets. He's not going to do that. He's not going to, completely remove Garrett Wilson from the offense, okay? That's not what he's going to do here. He's not going to come here to just eat up a bunch of snaps and do all those things. No, he's coming in here to be that fourth, fifth, string wide receiver within the offense and to be the guy that contributes within the slot. And here's the deal about that, though. There's a tremendous amount of value, right, on the field because I think you're going to get solid production out of him. But also what you're going to get out of him is a guy that understands the offense on a level that the guys that we have outside of maybe Allen Lazard, right, don't understand the offense yet. Of course, because we just brought in Nathaniel Hackett. They're going to have similar concepts, that they ran with Mike LaFleur, but Nathaniel Hackett has some things that he's going to bring to the table as well that are not going to be the same. They've already talked about it. There's going to be some ticks. There's going to be some different calls. There's going to be a different kind of way that they run, right, this Shanahan offense. There's going to be a different kind of way that they run, these schemes and concepts, just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. So with that in there, then guess what? You're going to have to account for that with a guy that's going to be able to come in, not only have familiarity with Aaron Rodgers, he understands what Aaron Rodgers wants. He understands, what to look for from his side of the coin as well. But he's also going to be able to help these guys that are here, your Garrett Wilsons, your Mecole Hardmans as well, a guy who's going to be running that Randall Cobb-esque kind of role within our offense. He's going to be able to help teach those guys what exactly they need to be doing within the offense and what to expect from Aaron Rodgers. Because not only is he there as a wide receiver, but he's been in this situation. He's going to be able to tell these guys what it is. Now, again, on board, we have Allen Lazard. Of course, we got Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle, Billy Turner, Randall Cobb. These are all guys that, have been in that Packers tree, also have a lot of familiarity with Aaron Rodgers. But you got the media also bashing that as well, right? Now Aaron Rodgers is taking over everything. Now we're the New York Packers, and things are it's all going bad, and Aaron Rodgers is going to destroy this team, and they're just bringing in guys that know Aaron Rodgers. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not true, all right? Yeah, we brought in some guys, Tim Boyd. These guys have familiarity within the offense. You also got to think that Nathaniel Hackett is here. There's guys that he wants to bring along. These are guys that he signed off as well to bring into the Jets facility to help them continue to grow and push forward. Lazard was a guy that I was hyped about. He's one of the better wide receivers in this free agency class, and we were all hyped about because of what he brings to the New York Jets, right? Then you got Boyle, a backup that's going to help us. Again, we all know Zach Wilson isn't necessarily ready, right? He's also a guy that needs some time on that bench to really learn the game from that perspective. That's going to help Zach Wilson. Billy Turner, great offensive line depth. Again, he's a guy that knows the system as well. why can't this be done? What is the problem with bringing in some guys? It's not going to destroy the New York Jets. But what's crazy about this and how this narrative is being spun, and we'll get to our guest in just a second, what's crazy about this narrative that's being spun is that people are acting like this hasn't been done anywhere else in the NFL before. I remember Peyton Manning leaving the Colts, going to the Broncos, and bringing Brandon Stokely and Jacob Tamme with him. And I remember when that happened, people were over the moon about it. People were excited. People were screaming, yeah, he's feeling familiarity with the offense, and he's bringing in his guys, and they're going to get things rolling, and rah, rah, rah. And there was no problem with that. But when the Jets do it, when Aaron Rodgers is brought in and he decides, or he's talking to guys, and there's this whole myth of a wish list being thrown out there, which has been proven to be nonsense, right? When you got Nathaniel Hackett that wants to bring in guys and say, hey, this is a guy I'd like to continue to bring in here with the offense, and he can help these guys grow and things can move around. Even Robert Saleh today called that wish list just a silly nonsense, right? When the Jets do it, it's a problem. When Brady decides that he wants to bring in Gronkowski, right, and Gronk follows him to the Tampa Bay Bucks, oh, it's all good. It's all good. There's no problem there, right? Like, come on. Come on. There's no issues with this whatsoever. The move, I like him being brought in again. He's not going to kill any of the growth or the maturity of our young wide receivers. And I like this signing, this expected signing. It's not done yet. And I like what he's going to be able to bring to the table. So we'll continue to talk about this in a second. Salutes to all of the callers. We'll get to you guys in a second. Okay, salutes to everybody in the chat as well, all the savages. JW, I see you. He says the media hates the Jets, period. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I'll tell you what. Everyone knows that I am a big Jets fan. And not just that. I'm a Jets fan that grew up on the West Coast, right? And one of the things that I love to do on this show is connect with Jets fans that are around the world. All right? That's what I'm all about. And tonight, we're going to have a special guest come on. We're going to have Mr. John Bradley is going to come on and talk to us tonight. He's from the East of Scotland fan club. He's going to talk to us about his experience abroad and what it's like to be a Jets fan outside of the States. John, I want to welcome you to the Long Beach Joe Show. How are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. It's approximately 12 a.m. here in Scotland, so it's a late one for us.
Okay. And again, thank you for calling in. Like you said, yeah, the time difference is there. Everything is moving and shaking. Listen, John, I want to talk to you about being a Jets fan, and I want to get your thoughts about your situation there. Can you start off by telling us how you became a Jet fan? What made you want to put on that green and white jersey and rep this team?
Yeah, I think it was around 2010 I first started following the Jets. It was part of a visit of coming over to New York, and obviously New York's dominated by a lot of sports teams, and I was just getting into football as such, so there was two options, the Giants and the Jets, and there was just something about the Jets that I liked. It was a good time to start following them because it was the Rex Ryan era, so we were close on getting back to the promised land of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's my experience of how I started to follow them. It's been a long, hard slog since then. We've had we've had good times at points, but we've had no one to just take us over that line back to the promised land, as we'll get on to later. That Super Bowl trophy is looking awful lonely, and it was a long time ago, before I was even born. So, and I imagine most of the listeners were probably not born either. So,
yeah. Oh, listen, John, you are talking facts. It has been rough. Now, those two AFC championships back to back with Rex Ryan was amazing. But it's been a long, hard road since then, like you talked about as well. Adam Gase, those years were terrible. Mike McCagnon being our general manager, a lot of the jacked up stuff he did. Oh, man, listen, we could talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I want to continue to discuss you and your fan club and all the great things that you're doing. Can you talk about how your fan club came about, and where do you guys hang out? Do you guys watch games together? What do you do?
Yeah, so the fan club actually just came about a year ago, to be honest. The fan club came about from me and my friend David O'Rourke just had this idea of creating a fan club just for East of Scotland based Jets fans. It's not exclusively just to that area. We're welcome to any Jets fans in Scotland at all. We also connect up with another group called Gangrene UK. So we mostly just watch the games at home. It's not. We've not got the same kind of experiences you do over in the States because of the time difference. There's not a lot of bars that show the game over here at the moment. Myself and David, we kind of stay a little bit outside the city, so it's not as easy to get into bars as it would be over in the States to watch a game. So we just watch at home. We communicate over social media on the plays and how we think the games are going. So
yeah, I hear you. It is tough, like you said as well, with the time difference. I could really see. But what is the experience like when the games are there? Because they do have, teams. And again, we've seen the Jets go over there as well and play overseas. Have you ever attended any of the Jets games when they've been able to go overseas and play live there? Yeah,
I was there for the 2015 visit of the Dolphins and the Jets, and it was the first divisional game outside of the US as well. So it was quite a big occasion. And I was also there in 2021 when we played the Falcons as well. From my experience, the game in 2021, the whole of London was just buzzing with excitement for the Jets. As an NFL fan, anyway, there were it maybe didn't show in the pictures of the stadium, but the Falcons fans was outnumbered at least 10-1 by Jets fans.
Yeah,
and the stadium atmosphere as such, how most people describe it is it's a bit like a Super Bowl. All teams are represented when you go to their games. We are trying to work with like the other fan groups within the UK to try and congregate or in one section so we can authenticate more of a home game experience.
Yeah.
If it is a home game for the Jets, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's about. Getting loud when the team shows up and getting fired up, and especially over there, like and it's crazy. A lot of people from overseas listen to me. I'm always shocked, but just going back and forth, the fan base over there is so passionate. They're rabid about the football team, like you said as well. There's a lot of people, a lot of Jets fans over there that are excited about the football team and what we're doing. But I want to get your thoughts on this as well, John. What is it like being a Jets fan in your local area? Do you ever have to deal with like crazy? Because I deal with a lot of crazy Raiders fans and Chargers fans and San Francisco 49er fans where I'm at, because I'm on the West Coast of the United States. But what is it like around you? Are there any kind of like Raiders fans or any crazy fans that try to give you some guff about wanting to represent the New York Jets and loving the team?
Yeah, I don't think it matters where you are in the world. Everyone will always say, why the Jets? But why not the Jets? The times are changing, and I think last season proved that we aren't the same old Jets anymore. We're in this period of maybe not this season as such. We'll be in the Super Bowl, but I would like to see us in the playoffs. But going back to your point about getting grief off of other fans, we're mostly got bandwagon fans here of in recent years it's been Chiefs, Patriots, Eagles.
Oh yeah.
We do have there's quite an influx of 49ers and Packers fans round about where I stay, so I don't get too much grief off of them recently.
Okay.
So
okay. Yeah, listen, that's good. As long as you're out there, like I said, I get some 49ers fans chirping at me often, and I tell them, you know what, listen, we got Aaron Rodgers, baby. We're on our way. Okay, don't you worry about that. Now I want to talk to you about that next because we've discussed quite a bit about your fan club, but I want to talk about this team with you. When you look at what the New York Jets have done this offseason, I think the crown jewel for us, right, was we have Aaron Rodgers. It's on board. The trade is done. He is here. He's in green. He's at the voluntary workouts. He's throwing the guys. What are your thoughts on the impact Aaron Rodgers will have with the Jets? How hyped are you about us being able to acquire this Hall of Fame quarterback?
I'm so hyped. I'm just so excited to see what he can do with the pieces we've already got in place. The pieces that he's brought in as well is excellent as well. In my opinion, I think he's a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Brady's got more rings than him, so he's more successful than Rodgers. But overall, I think he's a better quarterback than Brady. I just see a good. We should be contending for the playoffs at the least this year, if not in the playoffs.
Yeah,
the talent is there.
I think the Jets. Yeah, I think the Jets can absolutely make a run here. We have a championship defense. We saw last season, right? We were able, I think, to win like 7 games basically with next to no quarterback play, very up and down, especially with Zach Wilson being as bad as he was early. And we still had a chance to make the playoffs down the stretch. Now you look at here, we got Aaron Rodgers in the building. We got a defense that can lock things down. We got Aaron Rodgers going to be able to utilize our offensive weapons. Man, we should be lighting things up next season. I can see the Jets really making a run. Now, one of the vital parts to that, too, is making that run is some of the talent that I think we got out of this year's draft, right? We took Will McDonald in the first, Joe Tickman in the second. We got some other steals down the board as well. My final question for you, what are your thoughts about the New York Jets draft, and what player are you the most excited for out of the draft?
So there's 2 players I really like out the draft is Barnes Converse. I think he's an excellent Bernard Converse. Sorry, I think he's an excellent pickup. He won't slot into the team straight away. I don't see that happening, but he missed the combine, and if he happened to take part in the combine, he would have probably went easily early in the first round. He was a first prospect, and if you look at the RSA scores, he would have came out top in most of them. So he's my top pick. Second one would be Zach Kuntz. I think he's potentially a Gronk type player with his size and his build. He can do the things that we've seen Brady with Gronk in New England and in Tampa. I think we can see that kind of play emerging from him. CJ and Conklin out of contract next season. That kind of draft pick makes sense as well. So
yeah,
but I think I think on you go.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah, the running back from Pitt is another good pickup as well.
Izzy.
I think I see a role kind of the same as what the Browns have with Chubb and Kareem Hunt, like that 1-2 punch. I see that kind of.
Breece Hall. Him, Breece Hall, and Michael Carter. I could see that again. And Izzy, I'm telling you, he's great coming out the backfield, catching the football as well. There's some things he's got to improve on. But to you, what you spoke on as well, I talked about that, after the draft as well. I really like the kid's speed. He's a one-cut guy. He can take off and go. He's got some movement to him for sure. There's some things he's got to clean up, especially like his route tree. But, again, all that stuff gets worked on in the NFL, and I'm excited to have him here as well. Listen, John, before I let you go, man, this has been a phenomenal talk with you. And, again, I want to thank you for giving us some time. I know it's late over there, and you've been able to call in and really share your takes about your experience there, in the east of Scotland and everything you folks have set up over there. Can you please give my audience every way that they can get in contact with your fan club and, just give them all your social media?
Yeah, the best place to contact us on is on Twitter, and it's mostly myself who runs that page with some help from David as well. It's just East of Scotland Jets, and you'll find us on there. We do have a Facebook page, but it's not as active as the Twitter group. So
okay. Listen, John, this has been phenomenal. I want to thank you for calling in. Man, we're going to continue to chop it up. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good one. That was John Bradley, okay, one of the guys that runs that East of Scotland fan club. Guys overseas doing their thing, taking care of business. Listen, I'm hyped, man. We're going to continue to do these fan club interactions, continuing on through, throughout this off season, man. I really enjoy this, especially like a lot of the overseas guys. I keep talking about it. Those guys, man, are rabid. They're big time fans, and I want to get their voice heard as well. And it was phenomenal to speak to Mr. Bradley. Now, we're going to get to the callers in a second. Oh, Chris, hopefully you call back in. Jake, we see you. Steve, other new callers as well. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. We're just quickly going to go through the rest of the news very fast here because I want to get to these lines and get y'all thoughts. We got quite a bit to talk about. The New York Jets have also signed Al Woods as well. 36-year-old defensive tackle. He's a former Seahawk. This was a great move as well, I think, for the New York Jets. He's a run-stuffing guy. Going to be able to put him alongside Quentin Williams whenever we get him re-signed, right? Whenever we get him re-signed. All right, we're going to be discussing a little bit about that tonight as well. It's going to be that number's going north and north and north, all right? We all know we lost Sheldon Rankins. We lost Shepard as well. We did bring in Quentin Jefferson. Of course, we got Thomas as well back there. The Jets have got to, figure out some way to get Quentin Williams back and get that extension done. But Al Woods is being brought in. This is a guy that can definitely, step up the middle. He can eat up a lot of offensive linemen, and I think that this was a quality signing. Keep in mind that him and Quentin Jefferson, were teammates last season. So I'm excited about that move. Again, we have some rookie signings as well. Jarek Bernard Converse, the 6th-round pick, he signed his rookie contract. I think he was the first guy that did it. Then you also got as well Izzy also signed his rookie contract too, that running back out of Pitt. I think he gets like a 4-year, $4.2 million deal here. So I'm excited about, these two young guys getting their deal done early and getting into the building. The Jets also have some undrafted free agent signings as well. I think it's like 13 at this point. It might be more. The names are going to continue to roll in. But as of right now, Desmond Alexander, Jason Brownlee, Claudin Sheraldis, Trey Dean, Travis Dye, Xavier Gibson, all these guys are rolling in. Malik Hall, Jenkins, Caleb Johnson, Britt Lang, just so many guys. Derek Langfield, TJ Luther, Garner Webb, Marquise Waters, so many guys that are going to be coming up as well, but those are the guys that we have in now. And, of course, Sulla as well talked today in the presser, talked about Aaron Rodgers, how vocal he is, how much of a great leader that he is already showing himself to be so far, which he's destroyed a lot of narratives, and this is just me talking about this. Aaron Rodgers has destroyed so many negative narratives that were put out there from the media, right, against him when we were trying to acquire him. I remember people saying he was selfish, he was a me guy, he's going to destroy these young guys, he's not going to show up, he's not a hard worker, he's not. All of that has been put to bed so far. His words, his actions follow his words, and we're seeing it. Shows up to camp, comes in with the voluntary stuff, didn't have to do that, did it anyway, right? Off the bat, he's talking about working with these young guys, getting himself into a situation where he becomes, a factor, offensively, right? Make sure the offense becomes a factor immediately under him. He also talks about team building stuff, making sure that he, kind of pours himself into these other guys' lives. A lot of the things that he said, right, he's doing, all right? And he didn't have to come out for the voluntary stuff that he did. He could have big-timed this. This is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's out here working, but that shows you why he's a Hall of Famer. He's constantly working. You don't get there by just sitting on your bupkis doing nothing, all right? So he spoke quite a bit of things about that. And, again, this Quinnen Williams deal, it's going north and north and north. We're starting to see these numbers. Dexter Lawrence already reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $90 million extension, including $60 million in guarantees. I think this makes him like the third highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL. Let me tell you something. The longer the Jets allow this stuff to string out, the more you're going to have to pay Quinnen Williams. Justin Simmons is getting money, okay? He's getting paid. Of course, the Aaron Donald stuff, that's a little way too high. But let me tell you something. That $25, $26 million per year is starting to look a lot more likely, all right, to bring in Quinnen Williams. So, listen, we got to get to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Again, salute to John Bradley, East of Scotland Fan Club, calling in. Please get involved with those people any way that you can across their social media. All right, we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, when you call in tonight, please make sure that you're patient. We're going to get to everybody. Make sure that your phone is good to go. All right, no crazy headset, something that you just found in the trash and you decide to call in because it was cheap. All right, please make sure your background is clear of noise. No Home Depot headsets that you found in their garbage. I don't want that. All right. Also, for my new callers, please make sure you do not curse on my platform, all right? I do not allow cursing on my show. I'll get you out of here fast. I'm talking fast, all right? Fast, we got Adam Gase out here. Get out. I'm so glad that he is gone, man. Just talking about, just bringing up Adam Gase earlier. Speaking about John, we've come a long way, all right? We're going to flush Adam Gase. He's flushed, man. He's flushed. We're going to get to these lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Jack Kenna asked me, what do I rate the New York Jets draft? I give them a B+. Okay, I really like the draft, like what we did. We addressed the offensive line with Tittman, and we also got McDonald. I thought we got some steals as well later, Izzy being one of them. I really like that pickup of, the running back in the later rounds. It was a good move. So we're going to get to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Again, when you call in, be patient. We will get to everyone. First caller I'm going to is Jake. We're coming directly to Jake. Again, please be patient. Ted, Steve, other callers as well. For those of you that do not know, okay, if you don't know that man, Jake, he's a savage. Jake, salute. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, Jake, we got a lot to discuss, man. What are your thoughts about the New York Jets signing Al Woods, and they're also expected to sign Randall Cobb as well? How are you feeling about those, man?
Oh, Joe, happy Friday to you. Little short call on Tuesday. I hope you had a hot date or something, but that turned out well. So just wanted to
you
talk
called
about that
in
first.
at the end of the show, Jake. You called in at the end of the show. It's a 2-hour show. All right, you called in a little bit later, so we were moving and shaking, man. You were moving and shaking at that time. Go ahead, give me your thoughts.
I'm a busy guy, man. I got to save people. That's what I do today. But anyway, so let's kick off this. For happy Cinco de Mayo. Hope no one's drinking and driving. Don't do that tonight. But
Don't.
Yeah. So please don't do that. New York. There we go. So look, I think the signings were what I expect. Listen, Randall Cobb was inevitable. I mean, let's not forget. Roger stayed in Green Bay a year or so ago because of Randall Cobb. That was a big part of it. So, they're a married, team package together. Al Woods, look, they're stacking up the defensive line, man. Look, Quinn is going to get signed. Quinn is getting signed.
Mm-hmm.
If Rodgers moving his money around and trying to put the money in certain places to help the team, hey, does that sound like a quarterback that someone did? Oh, yeah, that's right. Tom Brady did that for all the years in New England and in Tampa. So let's not forget that. So he's clearly thinking about – so anyone who still thinks that he's not about this team right now, you don't need the Rangers and Knicks games to tell you that. That's the kind of stuff that tell you he's in the long haul for this. So that's going to really help open up the cap and get these guys in here, which they did. Yeah, look, I think we need things up the interior. Linebacker, they're bringing back – the second the draft was over, I was like, I said they're bringing Quant's coming back. I really wish they had drafted Nolan Smith, man. I really thought that was going to be like our Fred Warner kind of answer. Yeah, and I know we got McDonald's, and I just want to kind of I just want to elaborate a little bit more on this since we didn't talk much about it on Tuesday.
Yeah,
look,
talk
I
to
think
us about
McDonald's
the draft.
was a good. Yeah, look, I think McDonald's was a good pick. Sorry, we got a lot of Cinco de Mayo people out here. Anyway, so look, I think McDonald is a good pick. I think it's nice to have a rotational guy, but at the end of the day, it's like we've got to think about our future at linebacker beyond just like someone at the edge, because the middle at some point, Mosley is going to be gone. Quan's not going to be coming back all the time. So I just think that they really have not addressed this. And I think at some point, like when it comes to handling the run defense, I think that's going to still be a problem because New England's still going to do that. They're going to do it as they did it twice against us this past year, regardless of having the same guys coming back. So I just really think they're not set at. I just don't think they're set. I just don't think they're set at linebacker. I don't. I'm not comfortable with it even that full yet.
Well, here's the deal. And I hear what you're saying. Right? Every team has holes. This is the way I look at it. Every team in the NFL has holes, though, right? Every team. Now, I understand the linebacker talk. Again, C.J. Mosley's here. Quincy Williams, who we just, got back as well in a deal. We re-signed him. He's going to be locked in for the next couple of years. I do understand that, right? But they also drafted Zaire Barnes. We'll see where he's going to fit. He's a good scheme fit, but we'll see where he fits within the defense. But you're hoping to see Nasruddin, maybe Sherwood take a step forward this upcoming season. But what we also see as well is we see Sella play around with that safety look from time to time as well. He'll bring a safety down and put him in a linebacker position. We've seen that. Guys move and shift around. So maybe he'll do some of that as well, too. But linebacker is a question. But if they can get Quan Alexander back, which I think they will, to this point he's still a free agent. Again, things are moving and shaking, right? He could just sign right now while we're live. But to this point, he's still a free agent, and I think that they'll bring him back and get that done. And I think our linebacker core will be solid. But one of the things that I really like about one of these recent signings, you spoke about Randall Cobb, but Al Woods, I think, also filled a need too. He's definitely what we needed as far as along our defensive line depth, because there were some holes there. You talked about the running game. I think a lot of people are going to try to run it this year. I don't think it's going to be effective, though, especially when we get Quinnen Williams back and under contract with the extension. I know you talked about getting Quinnen Williams signed, But I want to get your thoughts on this, man. When you look at what Lawrence signed for today, I think he's got like $60 million in guarantees. I think it's $90 million overall, $90 million, $60 million in guarantees. This number continues to go up and up and up, man. Do you think the New York Jets are making a mistake by allowing this situation to continue to drag on without making sure that Quinn Williams is signed and it's a done deal? Because the longer you wait, the more that the number is going to go up. There's rumors about other D tackles that are supposed to be signing extensions soon as well that could push that number up even more. Is this a big concern for you?
RELAX. Nope. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Joe Douglas knows how to look. He knows how to handle the cap, man.
Okay.
He knows not to overpay. When has he ever overpaid for somebody? Nobody. He has not overpaid for a single player that's got in here. The only thing he maybe overpaid on was the first-round pick for the Rodgers trade. But you know what? You're seeing all the news about him, like, blending with the players and voluntary workouts. I think we're kind of starting to see why, like, yeah, it's just kind of worth giving up the first-round pick to have that kind of camaraderie now than try to do it during camp. I still think it is fine. I think it would have been still fine, but whatever. If this puts everything at ease for everybody, fine. But my point is Joe Douglas really has never going to be put in a situation to have to overpay. And there's a plan, man. There's been a plan about this. It was the draft, getting Rodgers set, and now Quinnen's going to be the next step. He'll be signed. I will tell you the latest. He'll be signed like the day before training camp, and I'm completely fine with that. I don't care about mini camp. This is fine. It's fine.
Okay. And again, Aaron Rodgers is supposed to rework his contract as well. They're talking about him possibly going to rework contract before training camp. Now, before I let you go, Jake, because we've gone back and forth, and you're moving and shaking right now. We're hearing horns beeping, and things happening in your background. Before I let you go, give me your thoughts.
This is our city.
Yeah, it is. But you got a crazy background. Listen, before I let you go, give me your thoughts on is there a player from the draft, right, that you feel could challenge a veteran for a starting spot? What player from this recent draft class do you think will possibly be able to steal a starting spot from a veteran on this team?
Well, I think the easiest answer, I think it's pretty simple, is Pittman. Connor McGovern's not getting paid much, and I don't think he was really an inspiring hire when they brought him back. Says it all. If you want to use a technical answer, I guess you can say, like, I'm just going to call him Abracadabra, like Abracanard or whatever his name is, Abracadabra. I think he'll probably take you could take Michael Carter's job. I don't think it's a crazy thought to say that. You don't bring him in. Okay. Listen, I think they were clearly high on Bam Knight after last year. Like, he went, like they say, James Robinson was obviously bad. But I just think Michael Carter's job's a little in trouble. I was obviously a little worried about Breece Hall. I think his recovery should be fine at this point based on how a generic ACL tear would be. But I got a slightly bit nervous, but I think that's going to be fine. But I think it's Michael Carter. I think Michael Carter really is going to have to work for it because they wouldn't just – JD keeps drafting running backs, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, he's saying Izzy there's a lot of people already talk about that in the last show. They're saying Izzy could steal a spot. We'll see. Listen, Jake, I got to slide off. I got other callers, man. You stay safe out there. You got people honking at you, going crazy. Don't get in the street, man. I know Manhattan, it can get kind of crazy out there. People get rude, especially flying around in New York. There's a lot of people that just do a bunch of crazy stuff. But I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, all right?
I live for this, Joe. This is my home, all right? Have a good night.
I can tell. All right, you have a good one. Man, y'all got to stay out these streets, man. People in New York, they be having problems, all right? They be going crazy. I don't know what's happening out there, all right? People in New York get crazy, behind the wheel and not behind the wheel. No disrespect. I love everybody from New York. I got a lot of friends and family out there, but they be doing some crazy stuff out there, bumping into each other when they walk into each other. They call it the New York shoulder bump, and they be rude, too. Push each other out the way. Just wild. It's wild out there. All right? So be safe. Again, happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody as well. Where are my manners? Salute to everybody. I hope everybody, again, stay safe. Stay safe out there. We're going to keep getting to these calls. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in next. I'm going to Ted. I'm coming directly to Ted, Jack, Steve, other callers as well. Hold on. For those of you that do not know, that man, Ted, he is a savage. Sorry. a savage. Salutes to you, Ted. I want to thank you for calling in tonight.
Good evening,
Ted,
Joe.
how are you feeling about the signing of Randall Cobb, man? What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, Joe, I actually escaped from a very loud Cinco de Mayo party to call you. I haven't heard the first part of the show, so I'm just going to wing it from here.
Okay.
I would say, I'm not super excited. I guess it's good to have depth. So, and it's, the familiarity with the system. It's good to have him to be able to teach maybe he can teach Denzel Mims how to run routes, now that I think about it. Or, I don't know, maybe he can teach Corey Davis to catch. How about that? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, Joe. I think anytime you had a player like that with a pedigree, I'm cool with that, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this situation? Now, I talked a little bit about it earlier, him being able to help a lot of the young guys, right, learn the offense and how to do things correctly. And Denzel Mims is one of the guys that immediately came to my mind when I saw the signing of Randall Cobb. Because I'm telling you, and everybody's talked about it, all of us, we've talked about this constantly. Even last season or the season before that when he wasn't used, and last season he wasn't utilized much in the offense as much either, right? Everybody says, listen, Denzel Mims has the athletic ability to be a star in this league. He could be one of the top wide receivers, real talk. He could be one of the better wide receivers in this league. But it seems like the only thing keeping Denzel Mims from breaking that plane and just becoming that guy is the upstairs stuff. It's the playbook. It's the knowing where you're supposed to be. It's the type of routes and how just the awareness of everything on that field. If it was just if playing wide receiver is based strictly off of athleticism, Denzel Mims would be out of this world. But it's the stuff upstairs. Even the coaching staff has said that as well. Remember, we're not going to put him on the field until he fully understands where he needs to be at all positions, and that's been the knock on him. And I think that Randall Cobb could be the guy that can come in here and help him do that. I mean, I think that Randall Cobb could be a veteran guy that can come in here and really help a lot of these guys get to the next level because, like we've talked about in the past, this is a new offense. It's the same offensive concept, but with a bit of a different tick. We have a new offensive coordinator with Nathaniel Hackett being brought in here. Cobb knows the offense through and through, right? Aaron Rodgers knows the offense through and through. Lazard knows the offense through and through. So when you have these guys surrounding you, a guy like Denzel Mims, how can you lose? What are your thoughts on that, Ted?
Let me say this, Joe. All true. But let me say this. This is a direct reflection on Mike LaFleur and Zach's locking down on Garrett. Because maybe, he was so jittery that our quarterback was so jittery. I don't know if he ever let anything develop. Mims, he's gonna need some time to get on the deep routes. Our offensive line wasn't great. I really think if you have somebody like Rodgers who knows what he's doing, where he's going, it's gonna help. It's gonna help Mims. Maybe reach his potential if he hasn't yet. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be an average receiver, but you might be right, Joe. He can learn how to. A receiver is a craft. You have to know how to block. You have to know how to catch. You know how to. You can't false start like Corey Davis, though. You got to stop doing that. Yeah. And offensive holding, whatever he was doing, dropping balls. But let me say this too, Joe. Joe, another thing too is, Zach Wilson wasn't the most accurate either. Not only did he lock down on Garrett, all his throws were not perfect. Rodgers is going to take it to another level, especially with that offensive coordinator. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. No, you're talking facts, and you brought up Corey Davis. Excuse me. You brought up Corey Davis, and it's interesting because everyone has been speculating that Corey Davis was going to be gone, right? Ever since the season ended, it's been Corey Davis is finished. He's cut. He's gone. He's out of here. There are people reported that he even was talking about, basically saying his farewells almost at the end of the season. Well, there was a recent discussion, a press conference with Sulla, and they asked him about Corey Davis, and he says that Corey Davis is going to be on the roster. And that's that. Like, he's going to be on the roster.
Right.
I want you to give me your thoughts about how everybody pretty much, wrote Corey Davis off, and he's going to be here per the head coach of the New York Jets. What are your thoughts about Corey Davis being a weapon this upcoming season in the New York Jets offense with Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator now?
Well, like I said, maybe the accuracy that Aaron Rodgers has and the type of offense that the Packers ran with Hackett, it will unleash Corey if Corey can catch. I keep bringing him back to go back to that. Corey's just a little inconsistent, but I gotta say this, Joe. If you know your quarterback is bad, I don't care what level you're at. Maybe they just not that there's no effort, but at some point you got to be like, man, we can't do anything. It's got to be demoralizing. I don't care if you're a pro or whatever. I mean, your level of play has to tick down a little, except maybe for Garrett Wilson. But human nature, I would imagine these guys are kind of like, we can't do anything on this with this kind of quarterback. So go ahead, Joe.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Ted? We saw that though. We saw that in the Jaguars game. We saw when Zach Wilson was out there, the entire team just looked like they didn't give a crap about anything. Like they knew we were going to lose that game. And they were playing like, oh, we don't care. And what's crazy is once he was removed from the game, I believe it was like into the third quarter, they said, you know what, that's it. We're pulling Zach. And they put they put our third string quarterback in. We saw the team pop alive almost.
Strebler.
Right? He was running around making moves. Yeah, Strebler. He was running around making moves with his feet and making plays. And he had more yardage as far as offensive. It just when the time that he started, then we had all game with Zach Wilson, right? And so we was moving and taking. You saw the defense kind of come alive. Now we lost that game, but there was a spark of energy, and that's when you knew that Zach was done. Because I think after that was the second time that they deactivated, benched him, and he was back to the reset. So maybe. Again, we'll see a reemergence. Again, Corey Davis, if he can stay healthy, and he can catch the ball, I'm telling you, Corey Davis could be a big factor in this offense. It's just surprising to me because I thought with Lazard coming on board that he was a goner for sure. Now, moving forward, you got Al Woods in the building, man. Jets signed a defensive tackle, former Seahawk. Give me your thoughts on this signing, man. How do you feel about it?
I love it, Joe. I love that kind of veteran, but especially a big, a guy to clog up the running lanes, to take a double team. And I mean, who are you going to block if you got two of these edge guys coming on for the quarterback, and you have a guy in the middle just to take the double team, and you got Quinnen hopefully with his new contract sooner or later, doing his thing. You need a big run stuffer. I think we missed that last year. That's the kind of guy you need a veteran who knows how to win with a young core, but you need a guy to clog the middle and take the double team. I mean, you have to have that kind of, especially in the cold weather when these guys, they have to run the ball when it gets colder, and you have the mobile quarterback like Josh Allen who's going to run, as much as a running back. Not to say that Al Woods is going to catch him, but at least he can take up space in the middle, occupy some blockers. Yeah. So very important signing, Joe, on several levels. Go ahead, Joe.
Now, when you're talking about, this is my final question, man, because you've been bringing the heat. Sure. Quinnen Williams, you're talking about this deal, hopefully whenever he gets extended. Man, listen, Dexter Lawrence just signed a deal today. Yeah. All right.
Signed by him.
$90 million extension, including $60 million guaranteed. This number keeps going up and up and up, right? We saw Simmons sign a deal as well. I think he got 23.5, I think it was. 23.5. We saw Payne as well get a deal, 22.5. To me, this number with Quinnen Williams continues to go up and up and up, as in per year, how much it's going to take to keep him. How concerned are you about the New York Jets allowing this to continue to play on and drag out with the numbers continuing to rail in, especially when we're talking about there's rumors that there's other defensive tackles that are going to be signing extensions soon, and that's going to push the money north. I'm thinking at this point, 25 to 26 million per is probably going to be what it's going to take to get Quinnen Williams. What are your thoughts about the Jets just allowing this to drag out? Is this a major mistake?
He deserves it, Joe. Yeah, he deserves it, Joe. He deserves it. Pay the guy. Is it a mistake? I don't know. I maybe there's something else that has to be worked out. I don't know. Maybe there's a few things that have to be ironed out. But when you see these guys like Dexter Lawrence get signed and Quinnen's our mainstay, I don't quite understand it. But, maybe we had to get the Rodgers thing done, and maybe this week it'll happen. I have a feeling this is the week it's going to happen, now that everything settles down and, Sauce Gardner meets Jessica Alba and all that other stuff has to happen first. And Rodgers is the toast of New York and go to the Knicks games and all that. Quinnen, just sign the guy already. Give him whatever, 25, 26, 27. It doesn't matter, really, because next year these guys are going to make 30. So it really doesn't matter, Joe. Just get it over with. Get it done this week, and let's move on. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm hoping it gets done as well, Ted. Maybe we'll see. Hopefully it gets done, and we'll be able to bring him in. But I'll tell you what, I'm thinking maybe when Aaron Rodgers reworks his contract, there's a lot of talk about him giving the New York Jets even more cap relief. Because I'm telling you, if it don't get done, man, the numbers to keep Quinnen Williams is going to get crazy. It's going to get real crazy. But listen, Ted, I got to slide off. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have yourself a good one. Get back to that Cinco de Mayo party, man, and enjoy yourself.
I will, Joe. You have a good one, man. Take care.
All right. You have a good one. Listen, Ted calling in. I want to thank everybody. I know everybody's out there celebrating, having a good time, calling in with your boy, going back and forth. Salute again to everybody, enjoying their Cinco de Mayo. Call in, listen to your boy on the Jets, and then when we're done, you can go back to your Cinco de Mayo party. We're excited. We're excited. We're talking Jets tonight, and there's quite a bit to discuss. We're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. All right. Next, I'm going to go to my guy, Jack. Jack, we're coming directly to you, Steve, Phenom, other callers as well. We'll get to you in a second. This is Jack. Jack's calling in. Listen, for those of you that do not know, Jack, he's a savage. Jack, salute. I want to thank you for calling in. Brother? For those of you that don't know, Jack's also a Raider fan. He's a big Raider fan, but, he loves calling in here talking about these Jets. Listen, Jack, give me your thoughts, man. You're on the outside looking in, right? You're seeing the New York Jets sign guys like Randall Cobb, Al Woods. You've also seen us, since we've made this trade for Aaron Rodgers. When you look at the Jets, man, what are your thoughts on what we're doing here?
I like what you're doing. So the last time I came on your show, we were talking about, Carr and, how much, Carr would improve your team. So now that you got the GOAT, I'm going to turn the table. So what do you think now you got the GOAT versus Carr?
I'll tell you what, right? And you're right. The last time we did talk, it was during that we were trying to figure out what was going on with Carr, and we were still trying to, feel out what was happening with Aaron Rodgers. I think Carr ended up in the spot where he needs to go to, right? He's going to be taking care of business out there, handling business with the Saints. Salutes and respect to him. I loved Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know how much it was going to take to get him at the time. There was a lot of things moving and shaking, right, around his value, and there was reports flying left and right. I like what the New York Jets gave up for him, and I'm excited for him to be a New York Jet. I think that he can come here. This guy, I'm telling you, this addition, this great addition to this team pushes us forward, and it puts us in a situation to compete for a Super Bowl. That's the honest truth out of I'm telling you. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't know. But I am saying that we are now in that mode, right? We have a championship defense. That was already said and done. Last season when you looked at us, this defense was on the field the entire darn game, all game. Still, fourth overall in the league. All game. Fourth overall in the league. We were that good. We were that dominant. If it hadn't been for the defense, the New York Jets wouldn't have had a chance last season in damn near any of those games. But now when you look at the situation, I think what's so exciting for me is to watch the offensive side of the ball, I think, turn around and make that change with him at quarterback. Because I think that there's a lot of guys here, right, offensively, that are going to become even more deadly with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. One of those guys clearly being Garrett Wilson. Offensive Rookie of the Year last season with up and down quarterback play. Now he gets a Hall of Famer that is precise, and he says this himself, is precise with the football, all right? This is a guy that he was falling for to come in, right? So now we're going to get Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be able to light the sky up with Garrett Wilson. We brought in Alan Lazard as well. I'm hyped about that signing. Mecole Hardman, who's going to be in the slot, moving around, moving and shaking. Denzel Mims, I think is a guy that's going to come around as well. He's going to get it together. And now we have Cobb in the building too, a veteran guy that's going to be able to come here and give us solid production. So I'm loving what we're doing. But all of that, right, offensively is wonderful. But I think another thing that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do for this football team is open up our running game, because you can no longer play the New York Jets like you did in the past. You can't just stack the box and go, hey, Zach Wilson beat us with your arm. Oh, no. Because if you stack the box against Aaron Rodgers, he'll audible and cook you for a 60-yard touchdown. So we're going to see the running lanes open for Breece Hall and Michael Carter. I know a lot of people want to throw him away ever since he got Izzy in the draft, but I'm telling you, I think that Michael Carter.
Man, I drafted Carter in my fantasy football league last year. It was like,
man.
In the late round.
Look, it wasn't the greatest year. It wasn't the greatest year. Okay, I am a Michael Carter fan. I also love Mekhi Becton. I've been bashed for loving both of those guys. But again, we'll see this upcoming season. But Michael Carter, I think, is a guy that's going to have some significant production from us, not just on the ground, but in the passing game as well. I think he's going to be able to come out the backfield and really become a nightmare once again for a lot of teams. So I like what we've done here, and I like the fact that we're going to be able to get back to our roots, which is, hey, we're going to be able to run the football and really ground and pound a lot of teams. And I'm excited about what we've done and we've brought to the table. So I want to get your thoughts on that. All right, Jack, and I also want to get your thoughts on
I think your team is sky's the limit right
now.
Ahead. Honestly, you guys are sky's the limit. You guys have so much versatility, and with AR, it's like it's going to give your defense a chance to rest. And they're number 4 last year, like you said. They're on the field all the time. They're not going to be on the field all the time, and they're going to be even better. So it's really promising on that aspect too. And it's like I was listening to some the takes about linebackers. You did answer my question about the trade that you like to trade. I wanted to ask about that, so thank you for answering it before I could even ask the question. And in the way of linebackers, you look at the linebackers. There was only one linebacker taken in round 1, and the next linebacker in Sanders, which a lot of people like Sanders. He was taken by the Broncos, pick 67? But he had a miss percentage of 19.2%. The linebacking core was really bad this year. Nobody took linebackers. So I think every team feels like, we want linebackers, but it was not a good draft for linebackers this year. So,
this draft was very interesting. I mean, look at the running backs taken in the first, especially pretty high in the first, right? That usually never happens, and it happened in this draft, right? We saw there was a lot of things. There was guys that went way before they were, supposedly supposed to be taken. I remember Darnell Wright being one of them, taken at 10. People didn't think he was going to be off the board until like the late 20s. Bottom of the first, he ends up getting taken at 10 by Chicago. This draft was crazy. It was a lot of moving and shaking around, I'm telling you. Now, my final question before I let you go, Jack, because you've been bringing some heat, man. Speaking about the draft, when you look at the New York Jets draft, right, we got Will McDonald in the first. A lot of people were upset about that, addressing edge, adding more edge pressure and addressing edge in the draft as well as what the Jets did. Also, we got Joe Tippmann in the second round, center. Big guy, athletic, can really move, gets his hands on you. He'll absolutely take you out to play. When you look at the Jets draft, man, those two guys, we've got some other guys as well as we continue to move on. Izzy later on in the draft, Warren Carter too. When you look at the Jets draft, man, what player do you look at and go, man, that was a pretty darn good draft pick by the Jets. I'm excited for him.
Well, you know what? I got to say McDonald, only the reason why I say that, but he's got to do something to change his body in order to make it happen.
Yeah.
He's got the tools. But he needs to get bigger. He's just too small a frame right now to be, on a defensive end position. But if he can bulk up, give him time. He can bulk up. I mean, his talent is there. but he just doesn't have the body right now to do it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I took him. About that. Go ahead.
I've done like probably a couple hundred mock drafts, and I've taken him too. And it's like he needs just to get bigger and get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
He has moves.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Listen, I like the kid a lot. He's got great bend, like you said as well. He's really lanky, too, long guy. But he's going to bulk up. It's the NFL. There's a lot of guys in college that are slighter frame, that are playing lighter than they should. But I'm telling you, I think that Will McDonald is going to be something else, okay, when everything starts to put it together here. I think he's a guy that's going to be able to come in and make a big impact, especially, and again, this is going to be the impact of Aaron Rodgers, is that I think the New York Jets are going to be playing with a lot of leads in this upcoming season. And once those leads come to fruition, what you're going to see is teams have to completely change the way that they play. There's not going to be running the ball anymore because that's just going to drain the clock. I think the Jets are going to be up by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 touchdowns in most of these games, and it's going to have to change to where teams are going to have to fast track and start throwing the ball against us. And that's when we just unleash the pass rushers. We just let you have it, just in waves. And Will McDonald is going to be one of those guys that are going to be coming in within that rotation and just destroying people. I'm really excited about that kid and what he's going to bring to the table. So, Jack, listen, this has been a phenomenal discussion. I do have one last question for you.
Go ahead. With not giving the 5th-year option on Beckman, because, again, I'm sorry, I apologize, LBJ, but I was too busy following my team's draft to follow your team's draft. Did you guys, do anything at right tackle to back up, not giving the 5th-year option?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did bring in a tackle from Pitt, Carter Warren again. He was brought into the building, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen with him going forward. Again, he's a guy that has quite a bit of things he needs to work on. Again, with any rookie, who I drafted later. But when I look at the situation with Mekhi Becton, not giving him that 5th-year option, it puts the Jets in a situation because Becton, right, fully healthy at this point. You look at him. You look at everything he's been doing to work at this offseason to get back. He's looking phenomenal. He looks like he is in phenomenal shape. I'm talking phenomenal shape. And if he comes back this year and balls out, it's going to put the Jets in a very precarious situation. Because if he plays extremely well, or just plays solid, let's just say he plays solid, right, which I think he'll play extremely well. But let's say he plays solid and he shows everybody that he can stay healthy, a very solid right tackle, which is what I think he'll be playing this season, just simply because of Dwayne Brown. And the free agent market is insane. Solid right tackle, a guy that can show you that, yeah, I can play and I'm a good right tackle, bro, he's going to get paid. Now, if he comes out and plays like the Becton that I believe he will play like, which is the guy that was the rookie year, a guy that looks like he's going to be an all-pro, a guy that looks like he's one of the top offensive linemen in all of the league, a top tackle in all of the league, the Jets are going to they're going to have their hands full with trying to get this guy re-signed. Now, they can franchise him. They can do that. Okay, but I think it'll cost them north of $18 million. Yeah.
I was going to say,
I'm telling you,
you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do like what the Raiders did with Josh Jacobs. They didn't take the 5th-year option, and now they had to franchise tag him, and now he's holding out.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can do that. So
yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do, Jack. But I'll tell you, if he balls out, the Jets are going to be in trouble. I'm telling you, they're going to be in trouble because you're going to have to pay that man. We all know what it's like. Offensive linemen, especially good offensive linemen in this league, boy, they get the bag. That's a fact. So, listen, Jack, we've gone back and forth. It's been a phenomenal call with you. I got other callers. I have to slide off.
All right,
Next
brother.
time I have a show, I want to hear from you, all right? It's been phenomenal.
Quentin is a beast, dude. He's a beast. So, good night, brother.
Yeah. All right, you have yourself a good one. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to go to Steve, man. Phenom, Tommy, other callers as well. Hold on. We'll get to everybody. Salute, Steve. I want to thank you for calling in. For those of you that do not know Steve, he's a savage. Steve, I want to thank you for calling in, man. We have got a lot to discuss. The Jets signed Al Woods. They're also expected to sign Randall Cobb. Giving you your thoughts on these two signings, man. Are you excited for it?
Hey, Joe. Well, first of all, thank you again for having me on. I mean, it's been for a while since we last spoke. I've been busy at times, past, with the draft and stuff. I mean, been doing a couple of other things, but now I can finally get a chance to talk to you about the state of the team and where they're at right now.
Yes, sir.
Going back to what you were saying before, because obviously I want to talk to you about the draft, but I want to talk about like what you've been talking about right now. Al Woods was a solid signing by Joe Douglas, okay? Because the thing is, we needed help on that defensive tackle area, and let me tell you something right now. We desperately got that help in Al Woods. Now, listen, Al Woods is a veteran player, and he's definitely a good fit for the type of the defense that Saleh does have in him. So I think, like him coming into this is a good move. Now, Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb is a player, that knows Aaron Rodgers, that knows the system that we're in now with Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb have been like best friends. Like they're like the duo of Mario and Luigi. They're the duo of they're like crayons in a box, peas in a pod. Like that's what Randall Cobb and Aaron Rodgers are. So good, solid signings by Joe Douglas.
Yeah, I thought those were very solid signings, especially Randall Cobb being brought into the building. I thought that was a very solid signing, and Woods. I thought that Woods was a good move as well because the Jets needed some, more work along that defensive line. We needed more guys. Again, we lost Sheldon Rankins. We lost Shepard. We needed more fat boys up front to try to dominate these trenches. So I thought it was solid moves. Now, even going back to Cobb, right, the media already started to spin this and talk about how basically this shows that Aaron Rodgers is taking over, the Jets front office moves, and all they're doing is signing guys that are his old buddies and bringing them in. What are your thoughts about these negative narratives every time the New York Jets address, positions of, that could use a little shaping up with guys that are familiar with the offense already and familiar with Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers? What are your thoughts about the negative thoughts from the media about what we're doing over here with the Jets?
Well, the thing is, Joe, about this is that it's crazy because the thing is that the media just wants the Jets to continue to be bad. Like they want the Jets to be like the same old circus. They want them to be bad. It's like the thing is, even when the Jets do a great thing, they're going to find a way to do something negative. The media has to do something negative. So anyway, Joe, now that it's been for a while, I wanted to talk to you about this draft and how I felt about the draft.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Joe, I'm gonna tell you something, Joe. Now listen, last year in 2022, in my opinion, was one of the greatest drafts that the Jets had. And I knew going into draft night that it was going to be a lot tougher. So at the 15th overall pick, we ended up taking Will McDonald from Iowa State. Here is my thing about picking him at 15th. Now listen, I thought it was a decent pick by the Jets. I mean, obviously, listen, it's never a bad thing to pick a pass rusher. But I remember when we spoke about that offensive line. I mean, listen, I wanted them to get an offensive lineman, but unfortunately, the top four wasn't available. Unfortunately, weren't available by the time when we got on the clock. But I will tell you though, there were two picks in this draft that I was very, very happy with of what Joe Douglas did. The guy in the 5th round we took, the running back from Pittsburgh. I can't remember. Israel something.
Israel.
I can't even say his last name.
Abanikanda.
Yeah, but he's that was him, and he's a Brooklyn native, so obviously, that was I love that pick. But the best pick I thought of what we did in the draft, Joe, if you want my honest opinion, the center we took from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Tippmann. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, how many times have we spoken before for the last few years that the Jets need a center for the future, that we need a future center? Finally, we did it in the second round last Friday night. I thought, in my opinion, Joe, that was the best pick of all of our picks.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I thought that was a phenomenal move as well. I could absolutely, see you saying that Joe Tippmann is the best pick. I think it fills a hole, right, a necessary need. We all know that Connor McGovern's not going to be here probably past this year. He's on a one-year deal anyway, bringing him back. Tippmann, young, strong guy, he's athletic. He can move, big dude. I'm telling you, once he gets his hands on you, it's a done. It's a done deal. All right, your night's over, okay? It's over for you. You're not going to get back into the play. You might as well just go ahead and lay down. Go ahead, Steve.
So, Joe, before you ask me any questions, I got to now ask you this question. We're coming up to the next biggest part of the season. Well, before way before the season begins. But apparently, next Thursday night at 8 o'clock on May 11th, the NFL schedule gets released. Joe, give me your thoughts and give me your prediction. Who do you think the New York Jets will open the 2023 season against? Do you think we open on the road, or do you think we open at home?
I think we'll probably open. I think we'll probably open at home. That'll probably be open. That's what I'm guessing. I'm thinking we're going to open at home, especially with Aaron Rodgers.
And tell me which.
Especially with Aaron Rodgers on the team now, I just got a feeling we're going to open at home.
Okay, and tell me which opponent do you think we're going to face?
I don't know, man. Maybe the Patriots. I'm thinking the Patriots.
Patriots, at home. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm thinking Patriots at home.
Well, here's the thing, Joe. What a lot of people have been saying. Hey, Joe. You know what a lot of people have been saying? They have been saying that we would be opening the season at home on Monday. Well, we would be opening the season in MetLife Stadium, but we wouldn't be the home team. We would be the road team. We would be opening on September 11th, the Monday night game against the Giants.
Against the Giants, yeah, that's something they can do as well. That's something they could do as well. It wouldn't shock me if that happened as well. But, man, the way our schedule is shaking out, there's a lot of tough teams. That we're going to be playing this year, and it's going to be exciting to see. Now, listen, Steve, I want to get your thoughts on this. We talked about the draft. We talked about a lot of things moving and shaking. Give me your thoughts about the New York Jets declining Mekhi Becton's fifth-year option. How are you feeling about that? That's my final question. Go ahead and give me your takes on that, man.
Listen, as much as I love Mekhi, I think the message that Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are giving to Mekhi Becton is that this year you need to prove it to yourself that you could still play for this team. Because I think Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are sending a message to Mekhi Becton. Listen, Mekhi Becton may be in phenomenal shape. And, Joe, I've seen you post many times on Twitter and Facebook about how Becton is in great shape, and he is.
Yes, sir.
But this is a big year coming up for him. And the big thing that's got to happen is that he has to be healthy. Because if he doesn't continue to be healthy, Joe, he's not going to be on this team in the future. So this is a big year for Mekhi.
Yeah.
This is a big year for Mekhi. And if he can prove to Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas that he can stay healthy and have a great season this year, then we can give him a long-term deal in the future.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that long-term deal is going to be extremely interesting. How easy that's going to be, or how not easy it's going to be, how difficult it could be to get Mekhi back and re-signed. Because if Mekhi comes back and he turns into the all-pro tackle that I believe that he is, okay, Mekhi, if you're listening, all right, I'm one of your biggest fans. I get bashed for it all the time. If he turns back into that all-pro right tackle that I believe that he could be, that he looked like the first year, right, the rookie year, good luck, because you're going to be paying out of your nose, okay? Now, you can franchise him for what looks at this point like it's going to be north of $18 million. I think the franchise tag for offensive lineman this past season was like 18.5 or something like that versus paying him $13.5 million, with that fifth-year option. But if he balls out, good luck, because Mekhi Becton going to get paid. If he turns back into the Mekhi Becton that I know, the guy that I've been, lobbying for, I'm just saying good luck. Listen, Steve, I got to slide off. I got other callers. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, Steve. I love going back and forth with you about this football team, all right?
All right, Joe. You have a good night, man.
All right, you have a good one. Yeah. Steve calling in with some takes. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone out there. All right. Enjoy yourselves and be safe. A lot of crazy people. All right. Don't get honked at on the street. Next, we're going to go to my guy, Phenom. Tommy, other callers will come to you in a second. We're going to Phenom because I know Phenom's got some takes. For those of you that do not know, Phenom is a savage. Damn.
How are you, LBJ?
You're a savage, man. Salute, Phenom. It's always good to hear from you, man. Listen, we've been going back and forth. I haven't talked to you in a little bit, man. Give me your thoughts about this Jets draft, man. Give me your thoughts about this draft. Will McDonald surprised a lot of people. Did that pick surprise you as well?
Yeah, of course. Because, through the mock drafts, we kept on seeing offensive tackle. Jets had to make a pivot once those tackles were taken off the board. Some guys said Kalijah Canty, the defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, might be the pick. I heard that a lot. Would have been might have been a good fit. But can we ever have too much pass rush? The answer is no. So the Iowa State connection, that might have had something to do with it. But this guy's just a good football player. He played a little bit out of position at Iowa State, but he's small of size, but he has a good skill set. He can rush the passer. Yeah. The Jets, if the Jets can hold down the run, the pass rush could be the key to, if we can stop the run, we're going to be a major force on defense. And with the rotation, he's going to be a rotational player. So if he can get 5 sacks this year, that'd be great. If Von Miller in his rookie year, I think he had 11.5 sacks. So if he can anywhere towards double digits, he becomes, defensive rookie of the year, and that turns into a really elite defense. So I think the Jets made a good move in the draft. Joe Tittman, you guys have said it all. We needed a center. They had to focus on the offensive line. They had many moves they could have made. They eventually went and got a tackle later with this guy, Carter Warren from Pittsburgh. They had no third-round draft choice. So this was a complimentary draft compared to the foundational draft we had a year before. So I'm feeling really good about the Jets. Aaron Rodgers. Last week was magical, man. We signed Aaron Rodgers. The draft was pretty good. We signed some components from Green Bay that helped. He has chemistry. Aaron Rodgers has chemistry with Cobb, Lazard, the offensive coordinator. I think they picked up a tackle from Green Bay as well. That's a lot of chemistry. Like you already mentioned.
Billy Turner.
Right, absolutely, Billy Turner. So they're creating chemistry with Aaron Rodgers that will help propel this team, hopefully, to being AFC East contender, playoff contender, and more. So, this is as good, and this is as good as it's been. Mekhi Becton. We just hope.
No, hold on. Before we get to Mekhi Becton, hold on a second, Phenom, because you've been some takes, and I want to break this down just a little bit. Going back to what you're talking about with the chemistry building, right? Of course, we know Cobb, Boyle brought in as well for backup quarterback, like you said, Billy Turner, Lazard being signed in free agency as well. Like you said, building chemistry, all these beautiful things. What would you say to those people? Because there are a lot of people out there, and they're not just media. There's also Jets fans, too. I've talked to some Jets fans that think this way, that feel like basically what's happening at this point is that Aaron Rodgers has hijacked the New York Jets roster building, right? And he's bringing these guys in, Cobb and included in this, since we recently been expected to sign him, and that this is going to be in detriment to the young guys that we have here. Bringing in Cobb, bringing in Lazard are going to hurt the growth and progression of these young guys that we have, and we're basically killing the future of our team to try to placate whatever Aaron Rodgers needs to come here. What are your thoughts with people that think like that and say that about the Jets?
I think that at the end of the day, the best players play. That's the only way it can happen, because the Jets have a window that's not very large, 2 years maybe. Mm-hmm. So they have to play the best players. Now, like the receiver room is going to be bananas. Garrett Wilson is maybe the number one. Corey Davis could be 1A or could be 2A or 2B. Lazard could be 2A or 2B. McCole Hartman could be. So it's like, and then somebody could emerge. So like this is the best. This is the best soap opera that we'll get actual feedback as the season rolls on. Tune in this week to see who starts for the New York Jets, who's running the football most effectively. I mean, it like last year it was who will start at right tackle, left tackle. You pick a position on the offensive line. Hopefully all the holes have been patched up, and we have a solid offensive line, and we can stay healthy. If we stay healthy and protect Aaron Rodgers, watch out. Watch out, NFL. Watch out, NFL. So it's we're rolling, baby. We're rolling into this season if we can stay healthy. And we know this. Go ahead. Finish your thought. We understand that this is still not a finished product. We understand that there'll be final cuts, and there'll be somebody who may emerge. Joe Douglas might snag a gem off that place, and we might get a player that we didn't think we would have, and now we have, and that happens. Or just some organic growth in this offense. What does Denzel Mims do? That's a big question. Does he emerge? Does Randall Cobb give him some nuggets so he can turn his athletic prowess into being a more mentally stable player on the field? I can't wait. What does Breece Hall do? What does Izzy Abanikanda from Brooklyn? Brooklyn's in the house. House. Yeah, Patterson's in the house. I mean, we got local players coming back home. What does Zach Kuntz do? Can you imagine a 6'8" tight end with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, this could be it, Joe. We could really. This could be a season we won't forget. This could be like the '98 season. This could be the '99 season before Vinny got hurt. This could be the comeback in Pittsburgh when the Jets gave up all that yardage to Mendenhall, and we didn't have enough to come back, and then Sanchez tried to bring us back. It could be that season. We could be on the other end of the '98 year where we were a blocked field goal and we were a blocked punt from being in. We were if we can stop Terrell Davis, we probably win the Super Bowl. I mean, we're probably in the Super Bowl. So there's so much promise for this season, and if we stay healthy, it could all come. So it's going to be.
And what's crazy?
If you're not excited about being a Jets fan, I don't know. I don't know. There should be some question marks, but you have a lot to hang your hat on as a Jets fan. I mean, I've been wearing green for weeks, brother.
You're talking facts. Phenom. Listen, Phenom, you're talking facts. And that's why I say to everyone that is talking about guys being brought in, I say shut up, right?
Yeah.
Because, listen, this happens all over the league. Why is it a problem that now we're doing it? Everyone's talking about young guys possibly being destroyed by Randall Cobb. He's like a fourth, fifth-string wide receiver at this point in his career. But what he's going to bring in is the knowledge about the offense. He's going to bring in where you need to be. He's going to help these young guys become more professional than they already are. What is the problem here?
Absolutely.
What is the problem? You know what ruins young talent? You know what ruins young talent? Squandering time, right? You know what ruins young talent? Squandering their abilities, not having guys that can get them the football, like Zach Wilson, right? Garrett Wilson was the offensive rookie of the year with up and down quarterback play. You don't want to see that continue to be squandered. When you bring in guys like Lazard, a very good wide receiver, one of the top wide receivers in free agency this past season, you're bringing in guys like Randall Cobb that can help, other guys as well, Boyle, who's going to help. Quality backups in this league matter, especially backups that know your offense, okay? They matter in this league. Trust me, we've seen that before. So all these guys that are bringing Billy Turner being brought in, he's a guy that's a quality veteran depth along the offensive line. We've seen, okay, what offensive line depth means. We lived that last year. We had guys go down, and our offensive line was able to hold the fort. They weren't great, but we had guys that can hold the fort. But if we had trash depth, oh, boy, we would have been in a lot of trouble, right? We would have been in worse trouble than we were last year. So everybody that says that to me, talking about ruining guys, stop. Okay, stop. Yeah. Because nobody said anything when Peyton Manning did it. When he went to the Broncos, he brought guys with him. Nobody said when Tom Brady did it. When he brought guys from the from the Patriots that had played with him, he brought Gronk to the Bucs. Nobody says it unless the Jets do it. Okay, when the Jets do it, it's a problem. Everybody else do it, it's not. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
I think you're absolutely right, and I believe there's people are scared of the Jets. We have a target on our back now. Now expectations are high. We have to meet expectations now. And
now this is my thought. This is my final question for you, Phenom, because you're bringing the heat right now, man.
Sure.
Listen, you talked about expectations and everything that's going on here. Are you concerned about the pressure being too great? And possibly, our team crumbling under the pressure that comes with the expectations of Aaron Rodgers being here and everybody wanting to see this team ascend and take it to the next step. Are you concerned about that pressure crushing this team? Give me your thoughts.
No. After last year, what last year showed me is that this front office, this football team, it's still a young team.
Yeah.
We don't really the defense especially. And what a thing of beauty it was last year. I mean, there was like you said, there were games that we shut down. I mean, the New England game, we didn't give up a touchdown, an offensive score.
Nothing. Yep.
We were right.
Yeah.
So imagine we scored 3 touchdowns. I mean, Aaron Rodgers puts up 3 touchdowns every game. We put up 21 every game. The defense is good enough to hold people down. And now you have to try to throw your way back into the football game against us with our rotational rush with all the boys coming at you. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. If we stop the run and we protect Aaron Rodgers, my friend, we'll be drinking champagne in February and smoking cigars. You know what I'm saying?
It's been phenomenal speaking with you. I got other callers. I got to slide off. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Next time I'm
no doubt, Joe. My pleasure, Joe. My pleasure.
All right, you have yourself a good night, my friend.
Take care.
Phenom had a fire call, man. A fire call, okay? We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Salutes to John Bradley in the chat. John Bradley says, my favorite free agent signing is Chuck Clark. What's your thoughts on that, Joe, and everyone? Listen, I like Chuck Clark. I like what he brings to the table. He's a safety. can move around as well. I know that there's been a lot of talk about our free safety, strong safety, that position being a position of weakness. I don't necessarily think that it's as bad as what a lot of people believe, but Chuck Clark brings a lot of versatility. He's a guy that we've kind of seen play both safety roles, in his career. I'm excited about him and what he brings to the table, especially when he comes down to the box. I think he's just going to absolutely rock and destroy people. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, again, because we all know that Sulla and all these guys, they like to move and melt those safeties and disguise them in coverages and all kinds of things. So it's going to be interesting. But I like Chuck Clark being brought into this building. I like what we've done, defensively so far. It's been a lot of good things going on here with the Jets. So, again, Savages in the chat, I come to y'all, you know what I'm saying? So ask your questions. I will address them. We got callers, so we got to keep on going with them. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, I'm going to go to my guy, Tommy. Brick City will be coming to you in a second. Hold on. Other callers as well. We'll get to you in a second. Tommy, we're coming directly to Tommy. For those of you that do not know, that man, Tommy, he's a savage.
Yo,
Tommy,
what's up,
salute to you, Tommy. What's going on, Tommy? Listen, we talking that talk, man. All right, a lot of things moving and shaking. The Jets are expected to sign Randall Cobb. They've also signed Al Woods. What are your thoughts about both of those signings, man?
Well, I'm going to give you my thoughts about Randall Cobb, and it's not too good. You know why? Because Randall Cobb was always in the back burner, and he was always taking up a seat in the wide receiver room. And that's the reason we didn't take him with our first pick. We could have took Jackson Smith and Njigma, and he was sitting right there. The best wide receiver in the whole draft was sitting right there for it. And we didn't take him because we had, they knew they were going to sign Randall Cobb, and that's why they shuffled. They shuffled around, and I mean, we needed some sacks. We needed some pass rush. We needed some edge rushers because, we had a great defense last year. In my opinion, we did not have enough sacks. So, However, a lot of people. Go ahead.
Here's my thing, Tommy, and I hear what you're saying about the signing of Cobb. And look, I respect everybody's viewpoint, but I don't think that. Look, everybody wanted JSN in the draft. I know that Jets fans wanted him, outside of us drafting an offensive lineman. But I don't necessarily get the idea that the Jets were as high on him as the fan base was, right? Because, again, he was sitting right there, like you said, and they didn't grab him. When you look at this Jets wide receiver core, though, we have some good wide receivers here. We've talked about, again, we got Alan Lazard, we got Mecole Hardman, Garrett Wilson, who was the offensive rookie of the year, right? Denzel Mims, who we're still waiting to see what we're going to get out of him, but there's a lot of excitement coming out, out of the fan base about him as well, what he can bring to the table. I always talk about how athletically gifted that he is, right? So we have these guys, including Corey Davis, who we just heard today from our head coach, is still going to be on this roster. That's like 6 guys right there. So where exactly would he play? And then you bring in Randall Cobb as well, a guy, again, he's not a guy that is going to come in and step in and be our number 1 or 2 or nothing like that. No, but he's going to be a solid veteran presence that's going to be moved around within the offense. So I look at it like, hey, us grabbing Will McDonald, that's a big-time ad because, again, with Aaron Rodgers here, it's going to change the way that teams are going to play us. I think we're going to have the lead in a lot of these games, and we're going to have teams trying to throw the ball on us. Teams trying to, sit back there with their quarterback and try to pick us apart. Well, good luck, because now we can bring in more waves of pass rushers. Huff already here, Jermaine Johnson here, Carl Lawson, Quentin Williams, whenever he gets brought, whenever his extension is done, he's going to be on the field as well. Quentin led us in sacks last year. I think Carl Lawson was second. So we're looking to see, like you said as well, the addition of more edge pressure, especially when we're talking about playing these upper echelon teams. Listen, you want to go to KC and get a W because as of right now, the road to the Super Bowl runs to them. You're going to have to find some way to take care of Patrick Mahomes. You're going to have to, because if you don't, good luck to you. We've seen it. We saw the Bills gear up to take care of Patrick Mahomes. That defense was already phenomenal. They had guys who could get after the passer. They said, you know what, we're going to get Von Miller. We're going to make sure we take care of this boy Mahomes. Now, we're just talking about Mahomes, right? Yeah, you got Deshaun Watson in the AFC. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Herbert. You got Joe Burrow. You got all these guys in the AFC, all these top upper echelon quarterbacks. If you cannot chase these guys down and put them away, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I thought the addition of edge pressure was good. Go ahead and give me your thoughts on the draft.
Yeah.
Continuing on, Tommy.
Well, Joe, I haven't done a lot of pre-draft analysis of the players, and this year, due to the uncertainty, of us acquiring Aaron Rodgers and what we were going to have to surrender, I thought we had to surrender more than we did, although we still gave up a lot. We still gave up a lot. Next year, I never wanted to ever trade a first-round pick, but
did we?
Regardless of
that, we only gave up a second round. I mean, realistically, the significant capital that we gave up, we only gave up a second-round pick this year and a first-round pick next year. That's nothing.
Yeah.
When you look at the impact that Aaron Rodgers can have, right? When you look at us, we had 6 games down the stretch where if we had won one of them, we'd be in the playoffs. Just one. We couldn't do it. The last, I think, 3 games out of the 6, we didn't even score a touchdown, right? If you look at Aaron Rodgers, if he comes here and just gives us let's say a 3,700-yard year, you know what I'm saying? Something, or a 3,900-yard year, something like that, right? If you look at that, if that's what he brings to the table here with the New York Jets, if he just gives us that, right? If he can give us that, dude, we're good. You're going to see the New York Jets make a big-time splash in this upcoming playoffs. I think last season he had like 3,600 yards or something like that, and that was on a down year. You put him on the Jets and give him 3,600 yards, the Jets are in the playoffs, making a deep run in the playoffs. This championship defense is here, 4th ranked overall. So, look, I'll take that all day. A 2 and a 1, I'll take that all day. Go ahead and continue to give me your thoughts, Tommy. You bring it here.
Well, you know what? Jets brass was obviously very high on Will McCoy. You know what? There was so many people complaining about the take and the pick. They picked him at 15, and, I mean, scouts were actually projecting him to go at 25. And that was, I guess that's why they took, the Jets took all that time, to pick him. If they allowed it, their whole time slot before they picked him at the end. I guess they were trying to, move back a little bit and still get him, but it just didn't work out. And they were determined to get him. I mean, he had 9.66 relative athletic score, a RAS score of 9.66, and that's pretty darn impressive. You ask me. This guy, you've seen videos of him jumping over cars and everything else, and what's the difference if somebody took him at pick 16? If we didn't take him, say we didn't take him, someone took him at pick 16, or a team took him at pick 42. We still wasn't going to get him at 43. He was going to be gone by 43. So this is the time. We allowed. It doesn't matter when he was projected to go. I mean, if they wanted him, they had to take him, and they jumped on it. And hey, you know what? I hope I have a feeling it could really work out. It could be the next New York LT, Lawrence Taylor, who knows?
Listen.
Listen, Tommy, this guy was marvelous.
Yeah, I thought it was a great move. Like I said, I know he wasn't necessarily the guy that Jets fans thought was coming here, right? He wasn't the name tied to us, but I thought that it was a solid move that the Jets addressed edge pressure and got him into the building. Now, before I let you go, Tommy, quickly, give me your thoughts about the Jets declining Mekhi Becton's 5th-year option. Very quickly, give me your thoughts on it. How do you feel about it? Do you think that this was a good move by the Jets?
It's a no-brainer. They had to decline him, man. This guy's been sitting on the couch for 2 years, 24 months. I know he has potential to be great. I know you're big on him, but I got a feeling he called in and cursed on your show, man. Because they got rid of that option fast, man. Faster than Joe got Mekhi Becton off of his platform,
off of my stream.
Oh man, hilarious.
Listen, Tommy. I want to thank you for calling in, man. I got to slide off. I got other callers. Next time I'm on a show, I want to hear from you, all right?
All right, Joe. Respect, Joe. Respect.
All right, have a good one. Oh, man. Tommy said, I got Mekhi Becton up out of there, huh? Oh, my goodness. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Next caller we're going to go to Brick City, man. We're coming directly to Brick City. All right, I know he's got some takes. For those of you that do not know, Brick City He's a savage, man. He's a Big City salutes to you. We've been moving and shaking all night. A lot of good discussion tonight about the New York Jets, man. The Jets are expected to sign Randall Cobb and have signed Al Woods. Give me your thoughts about these two players and what do you feel like they bring to the New York Jets?
Let's start off with Randall Cobb, my brother. He's coming in. He's a veteran, even though he has taken a little step back. But, he's there to help the Garrett Wilsons and hopefully Denzel Mims. Pretty much the playbook, the certain cadences that Aaron Rodgers likes to do, get them acclimated to the playbook alongside with Alan Lazard and stuff like that. So it's a positive signing. This could be our Antonio Brown-like signing, even though he's a little long in the tooth. But as a backup in the slot to Hardman or whoever else is playing in the slot, he has sure hands. He always has sure hands throughout his career. So that could be, a key third down, key fourth down in the Super Bowl. And who knows? Aaron Rodgers to Cobb. So I'm with it.
Yeah.
What was the second question you asked me, brother?
Woods.
You asked me about
Woods.
Al Woods, big veteran. This could be like our McClendon type signing, a veteran who's been around the league for a very long time, who can stuff the run. Still at his age, at a high efficiency. We don't need him to be getting after the quarterback, even though he can get to the quarterback, even though he's not a pass rusher, but he has gotten sacks. So him playing next to Big Baby, it'd be a force to reckon with in the middle. But I still feel like we still should sign another defensive tackle just in case, to have the rotation pieces. I don't think we still have Marshall anymore. I think we got somebody picked him up off the practice squad. I know it was Marshall and there was another guy we had in the pipeline from the last couple of drafts, but we haven't used them yet.
Are you talking? There's
Marshall.
There's
I knew Marshall was one of them. They're going right.
There's some guys. I know. Smart, I believe, was a guy that we spoke about as well. But there's other guys as well that we have here. Michael Clemens is also another guy. He's not a defensive tackle, but he's definitely going to be in the rotation within the ends and stuff like that. So there's some guys there that we can continue with that rotation as well.
And adding the rookie McDonald on top of that is like a wave of pass rushers there. And I knew a caller the other last time was mentioning the old Giants pass rush. Yeah, I really don't consider that type. I more consider it towards more of how Indianapolis had a pass rush. Because they had it on all sides, D ends, tackles. You didn't want to play the Colts. Let those guys eat because they'll eat all day. And there was two double-digit defensive ends. You don't really hear that much, lately. But having Woods, it's good to stuff the run. I feel like we need to add a little bit more depth to that position.
Yeah. I thought, like I said, I thought it was a great move for the Jets to add that type of pass rush, with Will McDonald. But like you said as well, when you look at the situation of bringing in Woods, man, you need fat guys up front dominating the trenches, and especially with the guys that we lost. I thought it was a good move for the Jets to bring him into the building. Now, we're talking about all these moves, and just kind of going back to the Randall Cobb, the expected signing coming. There's a lot of people that are bashing the Jets because of this. There's a lot of people saying, hey, you're bringing in too many guys that are former Packers. You're going to kill the rookies. You're going to kill the young players in their growth. You're going to hurt them and all these other things. Like that.
But
what are your
it was
thoughts
okay
about
for
the
Brady
naysayers that are saying that?
It was okay for Brady to bring
the
Gronk out, right? The naysayers are going to be there because we are the New York Jets. We haven't won anything since Super Bowl III. We haven't been relevant, since the butt fumble and the 2 AFC championship games. We will be the laughing stock of New York. But that's what I need, bulletin board material. I want all the smoke. You feel me? I want all the smoke, Joe. I want all the smoke because there's always going to be naysayers. Then what now? Did they say Tampa Bay bought their ring with Tom Brady? No. Tom Brady's the GOAT, right? When Matthew Stafford won, when the Rams traded all these picks and everything like that, they're going to mess up their future. They won a Super Bowl out here. Nobody's saying anything about them. But when it comes to the Jets, when it comes to this passionate fan base, even though we're bipolar at times, you know, and Jet fans, you know, some of y'all need to stop that creepy mom in the basement type mentality, Jet fans, because it doesn't matter if we're black, white, straight, gay, we're Jet fans and we're a family. So stop hitting up Zach Wilson's moms, stop doing all the weirdo stuff. You know,
easy.
Make the media.
Easy.
No. I'm it's a family show. I'm just saying.
Okay, easy.
You're giving these the media extra fuel for the fire because we keep embarrassing ourselves. Well, this is what I need everybody to realize. As a franchise, right, we're better than the Chargers historically. The Vikings were better than them historically. Jacksonville, Cleveland Browns. They haven't won anything since Joe Brown, but they're more relevant than the Jets. Come on, man, cut the noise. Cincinnati, another one. Tennessee Titans, another one. We're better than a lot of these franchises, Joe. But we don't. We gotta not earn respect, but we gotta take our respect, and it starts this year right now.
Well, here's the thing, and I hear what you're saying. And yes, we've seen people in the fan base attack players' families before. I will give credence to that. I've seen it and have spoken about that as well, and how that should never happen, but it does happen, and we've seen it happen, right? But here's the deal: when you look at where those places are, right? It's not New York. There's expectations that come with New York. We know the media here is ferocious. That's for a long time. That's why players did not want to come here. The media is ferocious. The fan base is ferocious. The expectations are through the roof when you come here. Either you win or you're a bum. Like, that's literally what it is. There's no in between.
Well, exactly.
Either you win or you're trash. Like that.
You're the Yankees.
Yeah. Either you win or you're nothing here. It's very much like that here. So, you know, expectations are coming. Again, with Aaron Rodgers here, the upgrades, all the young players, the talent that we have here, I think the New York Jets have set themselves up to have quite a season this upcoming season. Now, listen, Brick, this is going to be my final question for you. You bring in the heat. We're getting a little bit short on time. But I want you to give me your thoughts about this situation with Quinnen Williams, right? We saw Dexter Lawrence, sign a deal today. I think $60 million in guarantees, $90 million contract, 4 years. This situation with Quinnen Williams continues to play out. How concerned are you about where the New York Jets are going to be able to land him? Because the number to get him per year continues to go up and up and up, man. What are your thoughts about them allowing this to drag out? And do you think the Jets are making a bad decision not making sure that this guy gets inked faster?
No, I mean, I trust Joe Douglas, and I think they want to make it to where, you know, it'll be great for both parties. Because we don't want to run into another Muhammad Wilkerson type situation, but I don't believe Quinnen Williams is Muhammad Wilkerson. He's way better than Muhammad Wilkerson, but he doesn't come off as a diva. He comes off as a good guy, hard worker, blue collar type of guy. Yeah. You know, so I believe my timeline could be mandatory minicamp next month, June, first week, or training camp right before the first preseason game. It's going to get done. I believe there should be some incentives in there to protect Joe Douglas' side of things, you know, injuries and things of that nature. Then on the player side, you know, a certain amount of guarantees that Big Q should get. I mean, re-signing his brother should be a definite plus. I don't see us getting a hometown discount because he definitely deserves the Brinks truck.
That's a fact.
I'm just saying, pay the man. Just pay the man. Yeah. Just let it work for both sides. Don't let this become a locker room distraction. Even though he's a leader as well. We got a bunch of leaders, so I don't think this is going to be like a Darrelle Revis type situation. It's just about the timeline when it's going to get done, when it's going to work for both parties. And, once he gets paid and everything, Joe Douglas know how to do it. He's going to make sure the draft kids get theirs first and, work the numbers out. We don't know if it's going to be a front load or a back. Most likely he'll back load it to where it could be like a 6-year extension, but it's really like maybe out of those 6 years, maybe the first 3 is fully guaranteed, and there's an out after the third year, because that's what Joe Douglas do with these contracts. He'll sound good, a 3-year deal, but that 3 year is really a season and a half type deal.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we'll see what happens. I got to slide off, Brick City. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend.
My guy, be safe, man. Go Jets.
Absolutely. Salute. You have a good one. Go Jets. That's what I'm talking about. Brick City bringing the heat. Listen, folks, I got to close out the show here. This is a phenomenal show. All right, phenomenal show. We're talking to people. All right, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun going back and forth, but I got to get up out of here. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. Okay? I'm also on Twitter as well. Go on over to Twitter at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. All right, follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times, man. Me and Vera Tucker. Wait until he comes back this year. He's going to dominate these fools that be running their mouth about him that don't know nothing. All right? One of the best guards in the league, okay? And I know a lot of people, Jets fans, talk about moving him to tackle. I'm not interested in that. All right, keep this guy at guard. This is where he's dominant. If he has to move out to tackle in a pinch, he'll do that. No problem. Let's leave him at guard. Even Sulla talked about it. He's going to be a guard. He's going to be dominating people. All right. So go ahead and follow your boy at The Long Beach Joe, at The Long Beach Joe on Twitter. Personal is YoungJ000. I'm also on YouTube as well. Come on over to YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell, give the video a thumbs up, give my stream a thumbs up as well if you haven't already. All right, and when you subscribe, hit that notification bell again, so when I post content, you folks be in the know. If you're going to troll me, go ahead and get in those comments, and we'll troll each other and go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone, okay? Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will cost you absolutely nothing. I want to thank you folks for watching, listening, getting in the chat. Salute to all the savages in there, all right, and interacting with your boy any way that you do, okay? Without you people, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to do that, all right? So I'll see you folks on the next show. You folks have a good one. Peace.